Oh, and look at this. Things heating up down here on the front straightaway. Ross Chastain being told not so happy with the way you drove.
Ryan Reed ended up in the wall in turns 3 and 4 on that last lap.
Yeah, the 4 just drove into us into 1. Afterwards, he just said it was a green-white checkered, which I'm not sure what that means because I've done a lot of green-white checkers, and it doesn't mean it's just a free-for-all and you go down there and dump somebody.
I'd like to know what he said. He was talking to me. I couldn't hear him because his helmet was on. But, it's one of those racing things. It's a green-white checkered at Iowa, and can't say enough. No sponsors on the car.
Continue, Rick.
Yeah. Ross Chastain in the 4, Brendan Gaughan in the 62, and those two trading a little paint as they go down the back stretch. The 62 and the 4, it seems like it's never ending between these two. As the 4 trying to get by the 62, up the racetrack they go, and sideways is Ross Chastain in that 4, but able to clear the 62.
These two keep banging into each other at this kind of speeds, and it's not going to end well.
This is that was the punt right there, according to Joey, and you can see it bent up the hood on Ross's car.
Yeah, it was a pretty solid hit there. Yeah, that's been pretty aggressive, but we don't know everything that took place before that. So I'm sure that if we were able to talk to Ross Chastain, we might get a little different view of it, because seldom do two drivers.
Yeah, don't come over here.
Don't come over here.
He's a fucking piece of shit, John. He can do anything wrong. Hard into the key and passed him clean, and he left the hole open. I went there and I had the 5 right on me. I had to go, and then going to the S's, he hit me, I don't know, 3 or 4 different turns and never got off my bumper and pushed me to the sand. So I don't really appreciate that a whole lot. He's kind of Johnny Davis's golden child and can't do anything wrong, and he forgets that we're right there with them now. And the funny thing is, he also forgets is that he's trying to get in the chase, and the only way we can do that is we win. So he's trying to do that off a point. So can make that really, really difficult for him.
Difficult pass, driving underneath the 60 of Briscoe. Your car gets really loose. Chastain making him loose with the rear bumper. Oh!
Up the racetrack, he catches the 60. Into the wall he goes. Caution comes out.
Hold your line here. Hold your line. Stay straight.
An aggressive move by a driver who's trying to continue his playoff hopes.
Chase Briscoe in that 60. He won the most recent race. Won at the Charlotte Roval. He got into the wall. The caution came out. That means restart. Matt Tifft.
So Tifft needs to be cool here. He cannot lose his cool. I know he's upset, and I'd be upset too at Ross Chastain, but he's going to have to keep his cool here. Don't damage your car under caution. Just be cool here, man. You're going to get a restart. Get him back then.
Rick, you can't take away the storybook season, certainly can't take away the win that happened earlier this year, but for Ross Chastain, the playoff run is over with. Walk me through those final 17 laps after that restart. You moved the 2. Were you thinking for a moment we're in the right spot?
Well, it's too many mistakes on my part, first of all. I sped on pit road there, just trying to roll up to those guys and be the best we could, and so I got us behind, and then just playing catch up from there. And we had the car, looking at it now to do it. I was just trying to go by those guys, so he ran into me after we stopped down there for lug nut check, but I'm not sorry at all. This is awesome. This 4 car and what we've done with JD Motorsports and Chip Ganassi Racing to help me get here. Running that car a couple times there by DC Solar is awesome, and I don't apologize for what I do on the racetrack. I bring my friends with me, and our user Melon Chevy was fast enough to do it. So it's racing, man. It's awesome. We were in the heart of it. We did our job, coming here, and we got a lot to be proud about.
Who would have thought it? This race
into the wall. So Allgaier, one of the drivers we expected at the beginning of the season would be running for a championship and be a competitor here at this race, into the wall, and it looked like nobody around him.
Well, this is the risk. I love the call to come get tires because it opened up the strategy, but you have to take care of your car back in the pack. Something has got the 7 turned around, and some pretty heavy damage to that right rear quarter panel.
It looked like in the inner loop, maybe getting through the inner loop, just got
that car unsettled. It looked like the exit or the bus stop maybe, right in front of Dale Jr. Dale, he was right underneath you.
Yeah, let's see what happened here. Going through there side by side is almost impossible for those guys, and you can see right there just a difficult situation for all drivers involved, and he gets the worst of it.
Yeah, Ross Chastain just gets in so deep, he drives into the left rear quarter panel, and then I think politely said, hey, I've already spun him, so let me spin him completely out and not spin myself out. And you see the contact with that tire bearing.
Yeah, this is a battle for 14th place. Custer to the inside. Look at the 7, though. He doesn't want to go by the 4. Is he looking for a little payback here as they're coming through the inner loop? Out of the inner loop, into the carousel. What is he going to do? He gives him a little bit of bumper. Hey, send him into the tire.
Look at what happened. We start things off. He's racing the 42 of Ross Chastain.
Yeah, and I think that we didn't see the beginning of this, but Kyle ends up having to check up. He's going to get into the wall, and Ross Chastain gets into the back of him and sends him for a ride.
Yeah, and I mean, that was not the only problem that he had in this race, and I know Larry's going to break that down in more detail in a moment. First, though, let's go to pit road after the race. Well, what are they saying here?
This is always interesting because you can tell Kyle's furious. Ross is just kind of taking it. And then Matt DiBenedetto's like, hey, I'll step in. Anybody? Hey, you need any help?
I'll just finish my
Look at these
here.
biceps.
Yeah.
You see these?
Matt's like, hey, I didn't finish in the top 10.